Welcome to Conscious Talk, radio that makes a difference. Conscious Talk is brought to you in part by Essential Formulas, distributors of Dr. Ohhira's and Reg Active, now available online as well as in fine health stores. And now I welcome your hosts for the day, Brenda Michaels and Rob Spears.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us here today on Conscious Talk, radio that makes a difference. We're so happy that you're on board with us and that you're part of our Conscious Talk family. And Rob and I wanted to talk about kindness a little bit because the world, as you know, appears to be spinning out of control. And I just want all of you to understand something. There's great purpose in what is going on, and how we play our parts is that we don't go into that spin. To the best of our ability, we stay kind to ourselves and to each other.
We know that you often hear us talk about wellness, and this is a very important part of wellness. We always talk about wholeness, being spiritual, caring for ourselves emotionally as well as physically. And this is a time that's so important for all of us, for our communities, for our families, for all of us as individuals. We've always said having a spiritual rudder was the most important part of wellness in our lives, and we've been discovering that this summer.
I hope that you understand that when we talk about wholeness and wellness and spiritual, we are spirit beings in these body temples. That's what we are. And our greatest responsibility and gift to ourselves and each other is to stay above the fray, the very best that you can. Otherwise, when you sink down into the mire and begin to judge and criticize everything and everybody, you become part of the problem and you contribute to that energy.
There's always been the old concept that we've heard over the years to be the change you want to see in the world. And at this time, this is the most important thing. Let's see the world we want to see. This is a great opportunity for change. We know that what we've been doing isn't working, so hold the vision.
Absolutely. Hold it in your hearts and in your minds and use kindness as your rudder. And we'll be right back.
Welcome to Conscious Talk, radio that makes a difference. Well, coming up this hour on Conscious Talk, well, we've got to be smart about our health more than ever. And at the center of our health, quite literally, is our heart. And we'll talk to health expert Jim Laval about a heart-saving strategy that starts with a new, highly developed supplement. Then, we'll also have a chat with intuitive life coach Kelly T. Smith, who has a strategy to help you live a life of spiritual connectedness. And now I welcome your hosts who have connected to you from their hearts, Brenda Michaels and Rob Spears.
Thank you, Benny. That was very sweet of you. And welcome, folks, to another hour of Conscious Talk, radio that makes a difference. And yes, we are. We're making a difference again here today because we bring to you the very best people we know of, people that are making a positive difference in their lives and the lives of others, people that are learning, growing, they're waking up, coming on the show, teaching all of us. And on this show, we learn and grow together, one listener at a time. That listener is you.
Well, and our special guest today is one of those very best people, and that's Jim Laval. He's an internationally recognized heart and immune health expert with over 35 years of clinical experience. He's a clinical pharmacist, an author, and board-certified clinical nutritionist. He's going to talk about a heart-smart strategy having to do with a new product that's out there that we're very excited about, Kyolic Omega AGE. Jim, welcome back. It's been a while.
It has been. How you doing?
Well, we're good, and we're very excited that you're going to, clue us in about this new product from Kyolic. And, it's so interesting because upping the game when it comes to heart health, I was kind of a little surprised because they've really been known for decades for heart health products.
Yeah, I think it's an extension of already fantastic product in Kyolic, right? It's adding some other key features to it that allows you to get a lot of functionality out of one ingredient. And you guys know the commitment they make to the science and the commitment to quality and really thoughtful formulas that make a difference. So I'm pretty pumped up about this formula. I think it's great.
Well, and you're an expert in this area, so when you are excited about it, it really communicates something to us and our listeners. And, this seems to be a real game changer then, Jim, because it's so easy to take and support your cardiovascular, skeletal, and immune health with just one daily convenient supplement.
Yeah, I think if you're really looking, so if you look at the problems people are having today, in general, it's still a leading cause of death is cardiovascular disease. And then we layer on top of it the thought that, oh my gosh, inflammation is an underlying, undercurrent that is affecting everyone. As we learned this last year, people that were more at risk during the pandemic were people that had inflammation. So having something that has a broad, wide net effect by casting it out and saying, you know what, manages inflammation, reduces a lot of the oxidized lipids, helps with your blood to be less sticky. All these things add up to create a pretty comprehensive formula. So I think it's exciting. It's a one-stop shop.
Well, so let's get down to what we're talking about here. We're talking about a combination of the aged garlic extract with omega-3s, basically. I mean, that comes right from the name, omega-age, and you would pronounce
this morning, Rob.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, I know. Well, obviously, but you pronounce it when you go into the store. You pronounce it omega-age, right?
I think it's the way it's pronounced is Kyolic omega-age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, because we want them to know what they're looking for. So combining those two things. I mean, obviously, we've known Kyolic has been about heart health and for a very long time. But how do you combine that with the omegas? I mean, and why? If there's anybody out there that doesn't get it.
Well, sure. I mean, I think the other thing that's important to realize is there's other things in it as well. So you have vitamin D3, K2, vitamin E, B6, B9, and B12. So you've got a lot packed into this formula. So obviously, when you look at aged garlic extract, first ingredient, right? Multiple studies showing it has benefits for lowering blood pressure and helping the endothelium or the inner lining of your artery to be less inflamed and become more normalized. 870 publications on aged garlic extract. So it's supporting circulation. It's reducing the accumulation of coronary plaque. It actually has some great studies that came out in the last year about how it supports immune function. It helps with bone mineral density, actually. So D and K2 that going with it's going to be a big plus. So the research on it, I mean, it's outstanding in terms of coronary artery health and heart health. And of course, Dr. Budoff, a leading researcher in cardiovascular disease, is one of the guys that's doing that research. So you got leading researchers, multiple facilities. And then there's other ingredients. I know you'd said omega-3. I think it's important the way they sourced it, right? So there's different ways to source omega-3 fatty acids. I know you guys have talked about this in the past.
Right.
So they have this EPAX, which is basically EPAX is a ultra pure, sustainable source of omega-3s, and it's certified by an organization called Friends of the Sea, which is a part of the World Sustainability Organization. So what's so important about omega-3s, right? Well, it's the same thing. It reduces inflammation signaling. So when you take omega-3s, you're turning down that inflammatory engine that a lot of us have roaring in our body that's leading us towards our illness. And in fact, that's the term that's out now is called metaflammation, metabolic inflammation. Pretty neat, right? I mean, but that's the term that's in the medical literature. Isn't that wild? Yeah, and of course, when you take omega-3s, it helps to lower your triglycerides. It can help reduce, as I said, plaquing on your arteries, and then also even with arrhythmias. So there's a lot of benefit to, both taking the EPAX omega-3 as well as the aged garlic in combination.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we've really been learning about, as when it comes to the general public. How important inflammation is, but we really didn't get it, that it had a lot to do with our veins and our arteries. We think inflammation is just like, okay, we're puffy, that kind of a thing. Yeah, and we're not. Well, I mean, think about it, because that's really how people think. But now that we're getting it, that all of our organs, just the delivery of blood to all of our tissue, to say nothing about, individual cells, has a lot to do with inflammation of our veins and arteries. And, I mean, right down to, the smallest veins that we have, the capillaries. So, that's why this stuff is so important, because if your body doesn't get what it needs, it's going to freak out, so to speak.
Yeah, and I want to let our listeners know that it's dairy-free, it's sugar-free, with no preservatives, no artificial flavors. So this is a very pure product from that standpoint, so you can be, be confident in what you're taking. But let's talk a little bit, Jim, about that synergistic nutrient blend that they have in there. They have vitamins D3, K2, E, B6, 9, and 12. Why the added benefits of those?
Well, this is great that they added these in, because, a lot of times people end up buying a bottle of D, then they hear about K2, or maybe they get a D3 K2, but then they hear about, oh my gosh, I need to take a vitamin B6, and I need to take some B12. And what this is doing, so one of the big problems with inflammation in your arteries is a compound called homocysteine. So homocysteine gets made in your body basically when you're B vitamin deficient, or if you have a genetic predisposition to not absorb folate and utilize it as easily. It's called the MTHFR gene. And so B6, B9, and B12 are there to help you to be able to manage homocysteine if it's getting made, so it stays at a normal level. Because when homocysteine goes up, your arteries get damaged. The inner lining of the artery gets dinged, so to speak. So you bruise it. You put a slice in it. You got to put calcium on it in order to heal it. So that's one aspect. Homocysteine is also related to increased risk of dementia, and it's also included in the increased risk of kidney disease. So it's really a powerful target to work on lowering homocysteine. Now, aged garlic in itself lowers homocysteine.
Yeah, well, hold that. Hey, Jim, hold that thought. We're going to run off to a quick break, but, we want people to really understand this. You're listening to Conscious Talk. We're here with Jim Laval talking about a brand new Heart Smart strategy, and it's all in a brand new natural product. So hang on, we got a lot more.
What if you could be your own healer? Well, you can unleash your natural healing abilities with the AIM program of energetic balancing. This exciting new spiritual technology has been featured in best-selling books like Natural Cures, and in Dr. Wayne Dyer's There's a Spiritual Solution to Every Problem. The AIM program of energetic balancing allows you to heal yourself 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world. More than 60,000 people have experienced the AIM program of energetic balancing. The novel Sanctuary, The Path to Consciousness, walks you through one's journey of self-healing with this spiritual technology. To learn more about energetic self-healing, you can order the novel Sanctuary today by calling 877-500-3622 or request a free AIM information kit. Call 877-500-3622 or visit energeticmatrix.com. Unleash your natural self-healing abilities with the AIM program of energetic balancing.
Staying healthy has never been more important. And Kyolic Aged Garlic Extract, maker of premier heart and immune health products, is leading the way to better health with a groundbreaking new formula, Kyolic Omega AGE. Kyolic Omega AGE combines the cardiovascular power of Kyolic's best-selling, organically grown aged garlic extract with sustainably sourced fish oil and a synergistic blend of the nutrients, vitamins D3, K2, E, and B6, 9, and 12, that have been clinically shown to support heart, bone, and immune health, all in one supplement, providing you with a comprehensive and convenient way to take your health to the next level. So check off all of those individual supplements from your shopping list and get Kyolic Omega AGE for heart, bone, and immune health today. Look for Kyolic Omega AGE at fine natural health retailers near you. Learn more at kyolic.com. That's KYOLIC.com. Stay healthy, live better.
Conscious Talk, radio that lights the way. For most of us, the New Year's resolution to lose those extra pounds turns to frustration when the weight bounces back no matter how many calories you cut or how many protein meals you eat. The shocking truth is, it's not your fault. Science discovered that the alkalizing mineral salts our bodies need are no longer found in our food due to our depleted soils, which causes acid buildup in the body and a condition called metabolic acidosis. When you are too acidic, fat forms to protect your body. Thus, your diet actually leads to that dreaded bounce back in weight. What you need is Power pH with BioPH, the most powerful alkalizing ingredient ever developed. The amazing effect of BioPH is that it buffers and removes the acid in your body that causes you to gain weight. Make your weight loss program work with clinically proven Power pH. For more information and to order, go to powersofph.com. That's powersofph.com.
Have you ever wished there was a drug-free solution to inflammation and pain that was safe, easy, and didn't involve a doctor? Now there is. It's called the Avicen, and it's the best investment we've ever made. Others have described it as the ultimate anti-aging machine. This amazing FDA Class II cleared device is changing lives by giving relief from pain and inflammation. Users place their hand inside a vacuum chamber, which uses negative pressure and heat to safely infuse heat into the circulatory system, raising blood temperature approximately 1 degree, which reduces blood thickness and increases microvascular circulation. This is where the body heals, gets its nutrients, and pain and inflammation are reduced at the core level. To find out more, go to nulifeventures.com/intentional healing or call 360-385-1909. That's 360-385-1909 for all the information you need on the Avicen medical device.
Be sure to support the sponsors of your favorite shows on Alternative Talk 1150.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Conscious Talk, and it is radio that makes a difference. And we're making a difference right now with an expert that we always, really enjoy leaning on to get the real information, because he is just a fount of information about how your body works, and that's Jim Laval. He's talking to us today about a brand new supplement, and it's called Kyolic Omega AGE, and you're going to be finding it in your stores. And of course, in our region, we always like to support our local outlets, and in particular Marlene's Markets and Vitamin Life in Redmond. Also, that's vitaminlife.com, because they do a big internet business. But Jim, this year, if you haven't awakened to how important supplementation, et cetera, and you had mentioned to us in particular D3, that was one of the ingredients in this new formula, then your head's really been in the sand.
And you were talking to us about homocysteine and how that really is detrimental to us. So can you finish that explanation?
Yeah, so when your body can't take, a part of methylation, which is how your body detoxifies, that's how your body makes neurotransmitters. It's a really important process in your body, and part of that process, you have to do something. You have to transform methionine, which is an amino acid, and it has to go through these steps, and it needs B vitamins to go through those steps. And if you're missing the B vitamins, it misses a step, and that missed step creates homocysteine. So homocysteine damages your kidneys, damages your arteries, damages your brain, increased risk of dementia, heart disease, kidney disease. And B vitamins is a really simple way to help keep that homocysteine at a normal level so that you don't miss those steps in the metabolic process. Now, the other piece is that, remember, aged garlic extract in and of itself helps to lower homocysteine. So you kind of get a 1-2 punch on keeping that homocysteine down. So pretty important. And then the other thing that, we talked about vitamin D and K2. Obviously everybody understood the value of vitamin D for the immune system after this last year, right? I mean, all the studies that came out and showed people fared much better during pandemic when their vitamin D levels are better. And believe me, you can't rely on sunshine to get your vitamin D levels up. People should get their vitamin D level checked. I mean, I'm practicing in Southern California right now, and I rarely have somebody come into my office in Southern California where they have adequate vitamin D, meaning they're not just barely above the minimum, but they're more like mid-range. And then why K2 is so important is that one of the key features of coronary artery disease is that as we're aging and we lose bone mineral density, that means the calcium releases from the bones and then goes to the arteries and gets deposited. K2 keeps the calcium in the bone. It keeps it from getting into the circulation where it would then start to create coronary artery calcification. Now, once again, 1-2 punch. Aged garlic extract has been found in the studies to do that as well. So now you have two things that keep the calcium in the bone where it belongs, reduces the inflammatory signaling in the inside of your arteries so that plaque and calcification can't occur. So that's why this is an important formula because, you've got the omega-3 fatty acids, aged garlic extract, and these accessory nutrients, K2D, B6, B9, B12, all of which really focus on creating a tremendous amount of value on your metabolism. And when I say metabolism, I mean your whole body chemistry, not just how you're burning calories.
Yeah, and, you said something really interesting that I wanted people to pay attention to. We get it here in the Northwest, where we don't get as much sun as you do in Southern California, obviously. But it's interesting that you said, well, you're just not going to get enough D vitamins from the sun, even down there. So that's important. But, people up here think, well, I'll just, eat more salmon for my omega-3s. What about that?
Well, I think, first of all, it's a nice thought, but then it's where does salmon come from? Is it clean? Yeah. Is it I mean, I think that's one of the most important aspects to it is, we realize that you have to test for things like heavy metals now, even for our fish. I used to think I want to play in a band called Heavy Metal Fish, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Every time I say that, I think that'd be a great name for a band. But honestly, that if you want to get the benefit of omega-3 fatty acid from the health perspective, don't rely on variability of, hey, I'm going to get salmon, or can I get salmon? Should I go into the store? Sometimes I can find wild-caught salmon. Sometimes I can't. Do I know, what the levels or contents are? So what I like about Wakanaga, of course, and this new product is the value of of testing for the product so that it is clean, meaning, hey, there's no heavy metals in this product, right? So that's why I think it's important to think about it from a supplement perspective. Go ahead and eat salmon because you love it. Do that because you love it. Eat garlic because you love garlic. Don't rely on that to be the way you utilize these two very important nutrients to impact your health.
Yeah, and that is so important, and I wanted to bring that up because we've talked for years about that. We always heard that from people. Well, I eat a lot of garlic. It's not the same as aged garlic extract. It's a totally different animal.
No. So, Jim, what about a certain age taking these products. I mean, when we're young, we seem to be, impenetrable, but that's not really true. I would imagine we would want to start taking this at least in our 20s, 30s, these type of products to secure to the best of our ability that our heart remains healthy and our system runs and functions properly?
Well, I mean, I maybe have a more aggressive opinion because I realize that the early signs of coronary artery plaque occurs even in children as early as 6 years old, right? So
really?
I'm not saying give it. I'm not saying give it to a child. I'm saying start at age 18 because this obviously was not tested in kids. It's not a pediatric formula.
Right.
The pill is huge. It's big for a little kid. So but my point is the processes of coronary artery disease because of the diet that most Americans have.
Right.
Nobody's going out on a Thursday night saying, let's have broccoli nachos, right? It's people are
right.
I mean, so in general, I encourage people, as soon as they can, afford supplements. If you're 18, maybe your parents are buying it for you. Hey, I think it's a great idea. If you know that your diet isn't that great, if you're overweight, then I think this is a great thing to start at least when you're in your early 20s, at least.
Yeah, and we know that you work with athletes and high functioning professional athletes even, and you've been suggesting this for years, right?
I have been for, oh my gosh, aged garlic extract and omega-3s, just the two separately, I've been recommending for 25 years, I think now. Almost too long than I can remember.
Oh.
I mean, it's been a long time. And it's only because the proof is in the pudding. I remember the first time I used aged garlic extract on someone, I stuck their finger, put their blood under a microscope, and rouleau formation took place, meaning all the red blood cells were stuck together. I had them take aged garlic extract for a month. They came back. They stuck their finger, put their blood under it. Lo and behold, all the red blood cells were floating freely around inside that microscope field. That sold me. That was very powerful. And I don't know if I ever told you guys that story. That is what sold me. That's like close to 30 years ago. I mean, I literally saw it in front of me under a microscope.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're starting to get a little longer in the tooth, and we're still riding horses and all of those things. People are amazed because we keep saying that 70 is the new 50, but we've been doing these things. We've been doing this because
for 35, 40 years now.
Yeah, we don't want to just get old. We want to feel good. We want to keep doing those things that we love to do.
Yes.
That's what counts. I mean, in the end, that's what counts. I mean, nobody wants to be going from doctor appointment to doctor appointment. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Oh, gee, I can't eat this broccoli because I'm on a blood thinner, which is just kind of funny.
Yeah.
But, nobody wants that. I mean, you want to try and stay as healthy as you can and just get all the joy out of life you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we love talking to you because you're such an expert, a researcher and a clinician in these things. And, that's what the natural product industry needs more of. And this is a really great science-based company. We've been saying for years, that's what Wakanaga brings you, those products you can trust. And this one, this is big, And
it's available at your, local health food stores in this area, Marlene's Market and Vitamin Life, and that's vitaminlife.com as well. And Jim, thank you so very much for really cluing us into this new product. Kyolic Omega AGE is the product. And we'll be right back.
Dr. Ohhira's Probiotics, not just another powder in a capsule. With hundreds of probiotic products to choose from, what makes health experts worldwide consider Dr. Ohhira's probiotics superior? Dr. Ohhira's crowning distinction is the 500-plus postbiotic metabolites produced during its 3-year fermentation process. Why are postbiotics so important? Postbiotics are vital for sustained digestive balance and overall immune health. Postbiotics are fundamental for hormonal balance, weight management, skin care, and brain health. Postbiotics are the Dr. Ohhira advantage that is essential to our health and wellness. Encapsulated in a vegetarian soft gel, Dr. Ohhira's Probiotics is a live paste of 12 strains of probiotic bacteria and nourishing prebiotics from whole fruits and vegetables. Join the millions of people worldwide who know the power of Dr. Ohhira's probiotics. Go to www.essentialformulas.com today to find a retailer near you or search online.
Staying healthy has never been more important. And Kyolic Aged Garlic Extract, maker of premier heart and immune health products, is leading the way to better health with a groundbreaking new formula, Kyolic Omega AGE. Kyolic Omega AGE combines the cardiovascular power of Kyolic's best-selling, organically grown aged garlic extract with sustainably sourced fish oil and a synergistic blend of the nutrients, vitamins D3, K2, E, and B6, 9, and 12, that have been clinically shown to support heart, bone, and immune health, all in one supplement, providing you with a comprehensive and convenient way to take your health to the next level. So check off all of those individual supplements from your shopping list and get Kyolic Omega AGE for heart, bone, and immune health today. Look for Kyolic Omega AGE at fine natural health retailers near you. Learn more at kyolic.com. That's KYOLIC.com. Stay healthy, live better.
Conscious Talk, radio that transforms your life.
It's a new year and full of hope and enthusiasm for a new beginning. You're thinking about going back to the gym. Well, the problem is, every year it's the same thing. Exercise gets harder because your muscles get tired faster than you remember. And then the next day, you're so sore you can hardly move. Well, that's what Power pH with BioPH was designed to deal with. The active ingredient, BioPH, helps remove the acids your muscles form while exercising, giving you a better workout. Then, you'll be amazed on how Power pH relieves soreness the next day, so you'll feel inspired to continue your exercise program into the year instead of giving up after a few attempts. Power pH was clinically tested by competitive athletes who found both their performance and recovery greatly enhanced. If Power pH with BioPH works for them, it will work for you too. Granted unique dietary ingredient status by the FDA. BioPH is the most bioavailable alkalizing ingredient we know of. Testing showed that in just 5 days, Power pH reduced body acid 53% on average, while reducing inflammation and aiding in the uptake of beneficial nutrients. Discover the difference Power pH can make in your life. For more information and to order, go to powersofph.com. That's powersofph.com. Discover the power of higher pH. Your body will thank you.
When you buy health products, you can save up to 50% at vitaminlife.com, the world's largest selection of supplements, herbs, homeopathic, health and beauty products, and more. Choose from vitaminlife.com's 30,000 products from over 700 brands, including Solaray, Jarrow Formulas, New Chapter, Country Life, Source Naturals, Nature's Way, Enzymatic Therapy, Now Foods, Doctor's Best, and Aubrey Organics. Go to vitaminlife.com and save up to 50% on supplements, or call vitaminlife.com to order at 866-998-8855.
Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/1150kknw.
We're back. You're listening to Conscious Talk. Welcome. If you're just joining us, well, you missed a great interview with Jim Laval. We were talking about a new product, and you can catch, you can catch that in our archives, or you can catch it on podcast a little bit later on your podcast device. But right now we're being joined by Kelly T. Smith. She is a mind, body, and wellness practitioner with a certification in life coaching and hypnotherapy. She's been trained in a variety of holistic healing modalities as well, such as neuro-linguistic programming, holistic nutrition, past life regression therapy, homeopathic remedies, essential oils, psychology of intuition, energy healing, and wow, many others. Geez, Kelly. You've really stretched the gamut here. Well, welcome to the show, my dear. We're talking today about a deck of cards that you put together called Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle deck. It happens to be, out of all the decks I've ever been sent, my favorite so far, my favorite, and that's why we wanted to have you on the show. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
So let's start with what it means to be an intuitive life coach. What does that mean?
So that actually came to me through a dream. So when I first had my spiritual awakening, I don't know if you read a little bit about my story in the booklet. I talk about my dark night of the soul. Mm-hmm. And through that, it's kind of this period that you go through where you're not sure who you are or what you want to be doing with your life, and everything kind of just stops. And, you know, and then you come into this place of awareness of you can only really do what you're being called to do. It's like the call of the soul. So I went back to school, and at first I just knew that I was going to be a life coach. But as I went to school for mind, body, wellness practitioner stuff, and I was getting certified in hypnotherapy, and as I started to learn all these amazing modalities, my intuition came like it was already there. You know, when you have your intuition there, but you're really not paying attention to it because it's just something you've always had. But for me, it took another level. And so when I started working with people, I started getting messages, and then it just naturally started to happen. And at first, I thought I had to separate the two. I thought life coaching was one thing and hypnotherapy was one thing. And this was back in like 2011. So I was afraid to step out as an intuitive. And so I was thinking, oh, well, intuitive reader is a completely different audience. So I was doing kind of this thing where I was separating myself and thinking I had to have 3 different websites. And I remember
not making it complicated or anything.
I think that you've discovered the healer's dilemma is because people show up and they want you to have a certain title. You know, you need to be able, to say, hang your hat on this. What is it that you do? Well, what you do ultimately after you've gone through all of these various studies and tried the modalities is you discover your own gift.
Yeah, and how you can bring it through,
and
right?
how you can do it, because you have to convince yourself first, don't you, that the information you're getting is, works for the person sitting in front of you.
Absolutely. And I think, too, for me, any challenge that I go through and then becomes something I meditate on and pray on and then ask for a channeled message, so it becomes something I can share with others, and as I realized that I was tearing myself apart with this fear of being seen as an intuitive reader, but my love for self-help was just so important in life coaching and hypnotherapy that I finally just prayed about it, and I had a dream, and it was like, duh, I'm an intuitive life coach. And that's the time I didn't know what that meant.
Great.
That's it.
It's so fascinating, Kelly, and we've interviewed a couple thousand people on this show over the last 20 years, and we've had our own personal experiences, that we find out that it usually takes something like you mentioned, the dark night of the soul, to awaken us. And we find this just about everyone that we talk to has been through some highly challenging times. And this is when surrender comes in. So was that what it was for you, where you really had to surrender finally, and then your gifts came to the forefront? I mean, that's really the process that people seem to go through.
Yes, absolutely. It's 100% the only way I could move forward, because we try to move forward with our mental, analyzing everything, thinking about everything and being in our head. But to do something that has to do with your soul purpose, you're not going to know everything. You're just going to have to follow your intuitive gut. You're going to have to believe in yourself. You're going to have to take one step at a time and just completely surrender to the unknown, which I think is what is so scary at first.
Right. Well, we're here with Kelly T. Smith, folks. We're talking about intuitive life coaching, her Oracle deck. We're going to get into that when we come back. Stay tuned. You're listening to Conscious Talk. What does healing mean to you? Are you physically in pain, emotionally distraught, spiritually adrift, mentally confused, frightened, driven by thoughts of the past or future? After years of healing work on ourselves and others, Rob and I have developed energetic and vibrational methods to help you heal your body and transform your consciousness to support a new level of well-being and health. All these energetic bodies, when in balance, physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental, contribute to your overall health and well-being. This timing calls for us to wake up and become who we really are, leaving behind the illusion that getting sick and old is normal. Let us help you reach a new level of health and well-being, a level of consciousness that is filled with new possibilities. If you're ready to move forward and heal the whole of you, give us a call at 360-385-1909. That's 360-385-1909.
Scream it loud from the rooftops. Conscious Talk delivers.
Our bodies depend on a potent powerhouse of beneficial bacteria that support and improve every aspect of our health. Dr. Ohhira's formula encourages probiotics to function at their peak performance. Encapsulated in a vegetarian soft gel, Dr. Ohhira's Probiotics is a live paste of 12 strains of probiotic bacteria and nourishing prebiotics from whole fruits and vegetables. Transformative postbiotic compounds created during Dr. Ohhira's Probiotics' exclusive 3-year fermentation process are present in every capsule. These restorative postbiotics nurture diverse gut bacteria, leading to better digestion, improved immunity, and exceptional health. Join the millions of people worldwide who know the power of Dr. Ohhira's Probiotics. Discover the Dr. Ohhira difference for yourself. Dr. Ohhira's Probiotics are available at natural health retailers nationwide and online. Go to www.essentialformulas.com for a retailer near you. That's essentialformulas.com. Also available online.
Giving local voices a chance to shine. Alternative Talk 1150.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Conscious Talk, and, we always love making a difference, and we love introducing you to people that are doing that work out there and then are willing to share it, and especially when it becomes their life work. And so today we're talking to Kelly T. Smith, and the reason we're talking to her, and it's interesting because Brenda and I talked about this before the show. Over the years, we've received, lots of decks, card decks and that kind of thing, and from the tarot to just through all sorts of different subject matter. But Kelly developed one called the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle Deck, and Brenda's been using it in particular for some time. And I thought that was unusual.
Yeah.
I said, wow, this is the first deck that you actually used after all these years. So you're going to want to check out Kelly and her work. And I'll just mention this. You can go to intuitivelifecoachingwithkelly.com. Okay, it's not the shortest website, but it's easy to remember. intuitivelifecoachingwithkelly.com.
So Kelly, let's talk about the deck a little bit. And I know you drew some cards for us this morning, and we'll get into that. But how did the deck come about for you? Because it's done beautifully. And I will say the messages, what I really love about the messages of this deck is they're down to earth, easy to understand, and they truly apply to your life. That's what I like about this deck. So how did it come about?
So that was actually the guidance that I got, was that I get a lot of guidance through my dreams, which I'm sure you guys do too, because you're super intuitive. So I get a lot of guidance through my dreams, and I just kept getting these messages that I was going to create a deck, because I was using oracle cards too, but it always seemed like even when I was using them, I could get an intuitive message, but it never felt like it was speaking directly to me. And I kept getting this message. I mean, sometimes I would get ones that were like speaking directly to me, but in my dreams I was getting messages that I was going to write something that was going to bridge the gap between, everyday life challenges, emotional challenges, and intuition and being guided through our intuition. And so what happened is there's 77 cards in the deck, but I call them lessons. And I would pray and meditate, and each one of those are lessons that I've learned either through life coaching or they're lessons that I've learned from a personal challenge in my life. So I would go through, it seemed like this year that I wrote this deck, I went through all of those life challenges again. And every time I would face something like that, I would meditate and channel write because I kept getting guidance that I was going to write it in first person.
Ah, interesting. Well, they are so applicable, and the life challenges that you went through, Kelly, are the life challenges we seem to all go through from time to time, and that's what makes this deck so, I think attainable and easy to understand and applicable to the life.
Yeah, so let's give an example. Since you said that you drew some cards for us this morning, I think our listeners would be interested to see how it works.
Awesome. Okay, so I drew us 3 cards, and what I do is a lot more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. But I'm just going to maybe read a couple of them. But so what I do is I say a prayer and I ask for Spirit Source to work through me for the highest good, to bring a message to whoever needs to hear it, to whoever is listening. And the cards that I drew are limited beliefs, spiritual gifts, earth shifts, surrender, creative projects, and unwavering faith. And so when I bring all that together, intuitively, I can feel that this card spread is showing me that many people right now are also going through a very similar process that I went through, which is kind of that belief system breaking down, not knowing who they are, not understanding what's next for them, and everything changing. That's kind of the beginning of the spiritual awakening process, is this breaking down of everything you thought you knew, and it comes through in the catalyst usually. And as we surrender to the process, then our spiritual gifts start to open up. We got the Earth Shifts card, which is all about, being very sensitive that everything that's going on in the world around us and, feeling all of that energy like we are not separate from it. And then we got the Surrender card, which is a key important message for being able to follow that guidance and trust that guidance, because we have to get out of our head and back into our heart. And then the next card is Creative Projects. And this card's always telling me that you have a beautiful work of art. You have something that you have to share with the world, and sometimes we have to get out of our own way to be able to listen to that. And whether it's a message or a book that you're writing or something that you are being guided to do. And then the last card is Unwavering Faith. So I thought I would read the first card, which is Limiting Beliefs. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so it says, this situation calls for reprogramming your belief system. Throughout our lives, we adopt many beliefs that are not our own. Limiting beliefs such as money does not grow on trees and you can't have your cake and eat it too. Send the message that we are not good enough for abundance, that we aren't realistic about it and or don't deserve it. Until we identify these beliefs and replace them, they will continue to run in the background, creating havoc and chaos in our lives. This situation calls for reprogramming. Take a look at all of your beliefs that are not serving your highest good. Find a quiet space where you can think of the problem that you're facing without interruption. Then write out all of your automatic thoughts that you have related to the situation. You can easily find your hidden beliefs by mindfully observing your thoughts. And there's good news. Beliefs can change as long as you can take the time to identify and replace them with beneficial thoughts. When we take the time to seek out and question our false beliefs, we bring them into light. They no longer hide in the shadows, and they no longer have as much power to run our lives. Take time out to ask the question, what beliefs do I have that no longer serve my highest good? Then take a mindful moment to process the answers and the alternatives. You'll feel lighter and freer each time you do. So at the bottom of each card, there's what's called intuitive life coaching questions. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's the real work. You know, when we're going through the challenges and we're asking Spirit for guidance or Source for guidance, then we also have to be willing to do the inner work. So I have life coaching questions at the end of the deck for people to journal, because I feel like journaling is huge. Asking the right question is going to bring in the right answers, because whatever you focus on, you add energy to. So these are the questions. What limiting beliefs do you have in regards to your current situation? And what positive beliefs can be replaced with the limiting beliefs in this scenario? So,
Yeah.
And I like, Kelly, that you suggest that people write things out. And, one of the things that people, I'm not sure that they're always aware of, but there's kind of that anxiety and fear when you say something like, oh, you're maybe holding on to a limited belief. And there's always a little bit of tension or anxiety that comes up around that. And it's in the process is so beautiful when you can be with that belief, when you can voice it, put your voice to it, you can admit it, you can have it. You bring it to the light then, like you said, out of the shadows, because in the shadow it has a lot of power over us. But when we can be, and it takes some bit of surrender to do that, to understand it's not a bad thing, you're not a bad person, but you're bringing that limited belief right to the surface so it can be exposed to the light of your awareness. And that way, some of that energy starts to dissipate.
Yeah, one of the things that we have said quite often on this show, we keep reminding people that everything is for them. But sometimes, you need a little help, and that's why in seeing it, I know a lot of people have been going through this over the past year with the pandemic, et cetera, but it has, as that card expressed, if you actually take the time, then you'll get to see, what's beneath the surface.
Again, these cards, folks, are so well done. They're beautifully done, Kelly, by the way, but also the explanations are so down to earth and so available. And then you ask really important questions at the end, which really gets a person into that energy of it. So that's really good. How can they get a hold of your deck, Kelly? Can they get it off Amazon.com? Where can they get it?
Yes, so now it's available on Amazon.com. I have it all listed on my website too, but you can really just do a search on Amazon. It's now starting to be available all over the world as well.
Very good.
So, yeah. And it's on beyondwords.com. I think if you Google search it, it's pretty easy to find, or you can find it on Amazon.
And they can just click on the title on your guest page at conscioustalk.net.
Yes, and it's Intuitive Life Coaching with Kelly.com. Well, Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And folks, appreciate you. Have a beautiful day. We'll see all of you next time right here on Conscious Talk. There's great benefit to raising consciousness in your environment. You feel a higher sense of well-being, sleep and meditate more deeply, boost your natural healing ability, increase focus, concentration, and creativity. You can have these results in your living and working space with Focused Life Force Energy Innovations. Experience Focused Life Force Energy for yourself in a free 15-day trial with no strings attached. To apply, go to ConsciousTalk.net and click on Conscious Partners at the top of the homepage. Rob and I are on this program and loving it. We feel more joy and happiness, a higher sense of well-being, and we're sleeping better. And we've also noticed our animals are more playful and energetic. Make your home a healing sanctuary, or take the good feelings, high consciousness energy with you on your cell phone with the FLFE program. Don't forget to get your free trial today at ConsciousTalk.net in the Conscious Partners section.
Conscious Talk, radio that brightens your day.
When you buy health products, you can save up to 50% at vitaminlife.com, the world's largest selection of supplements, herbs, homeopathic, health and beauty products, and more. Choose from vitaminlife.com's 30,000 products from over 700 brands, including Solaray, Jarrow Formulas, New Chapter, Country Life, Source Naturals, Nature's Way, Enzymatic Therapy, Now Foods, Doctor's Best, and Aubrey Organics. Go to vitaminlife.com and save up to 50% on supplements, or call vitaminlife.com to order at 866-998-8855.